elevators is that gun.
We're supposed to say something now. Hey. Happy birthday, Mario.
Happy birthday, Mario. Many more.
Many,
Cheers,
many
buddy.
more happy ones, healthy ones. No, Jim was having fun in South America.
We just came back, Kelly and I just went to Central America.
Happy birthday, Mario. You're the best. Like, showing us the way, dude. Keep it up.
Just came in for a snapshot. Oh, you're not gonna get that. What happened? And so this is the reason you all came. Nina, my wife, through the computer, she invited all these people. Honestly, she'll admit it. I said, no birthday party. I don't need a birthday party. I don't want to talk about the fact that I'm 80. I don't think a lot of people who are here really knowing anything about me or what I'm about. And so I thought tonight at 80, I'd try to clear that up for some people. You know? And one of the things is, as a film director, I get this question oftentimes, well, what does a director do? You know? And the other thing I've learned, because being in the movie business for so many years, is people want to talk about movies. They love movies. And people have loved movies over the years. And so one of the questions is, what's your favorite movie? And if you say that to anybody in an elevator or something, they'll tell you, oh, Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life, this, that, and the other thing. And then they say, what's your favorite film? Now, just recently, my wife Nina was with me, and somebody asked me that question, what's your favorite film? And she volunteered right away, oh, it's the Russian film, The Ballad of a Soldier, which nobody has seen and nobody knows what it's about. But she volunteered that. But I thought about it, and I thought, maybe if people do ask me, what is your favorite film? I have got a favorite film of all time, because I know all the great films and all the great directors and most of the great talents, and I've had the honor of working with some of them. But the film that is my favorite of all favorites, many of you have seen it. Many of you have enjoyed it for a long period of time, because it is the one film of all the films that have ever been made that has been seen by more people than any other film. And I'm going to get to what the film is, but I want you to think about that. Everybody in the room's got one that you're going to say, oh, well, wait and see, because this film is about something very important in life. Three things that are really important in life. And it is a story that was written by a man when his mother told him, I hear you telling these fairy tales to the children, your children. You should write them down. They're really great. And so he wrote this story for his children. And then it went to Hollywood, and they said, we could make a movie. I don't think we could make a movie. It doesn't have any music or anything. So they made a special song to go with it. And then they started to cast it, and they put these characters in, and it's a fable in a sense, a fairy tale in a sense, but it has a great message in it. And I know most of you walked in this room today, came in through this lobby, and touch very close to a symbol of the movie. I don't know if you noticed, there's a Tin Man in there. And he's the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. And The Wizard of Oz is a movie that talks about a little girl who got lost from Kansas and trying to get home from a strange land. And one of the things that happens to her is that she is trying to find her way, and she comes across a scarecrow. And the scarecrow is a very fumbling around. He's not all together, so to speak. He's straw and hay. And he said, if I only had a brain. And he wants a brain. Pardon? He's a straw man, wanted a brain. And then they went on, and there was a Tin Man. And he got caught in the rain, and he rusted up, and he wanted a heart. And then they came to the lion, who wasn't really a lion at all. He was a pussycat. And he said, I want to have courage. Courage. I want to be tough. And so Dorothy is trying to find her way home, and she goes along the yellow brick road. And she's told, if you go to see the Wizard of Oz in the big Emerald Castle on the hill, the big castle, that's where the Oz is stationed. So they start off on the road to Oz. And all of you know this story in pieces and bits. But one of the things that you might not know is that Emerald City is a shining city on a hill. And a fellow that was an actor in those early days, when he became president of the United States, used that thing when he was asked, what is America really about to you? He says, America is a shining city on a hill. And in there is the Wizard of Oz, who answers everybody's questions and fills all their dreams. And so that was Ronald Reagan. And that's exactly where he got the idea, was from the Wizard of Oz. Now we get to the Wizard of Oz, and they finally go through all this turmoil, and they get rid of the witch and everything, and finally the wizard tells them, okay, Scarecrow, you want intelligence. Well, you've got plenty of intelligence, but all you need that intelligent people have is a diploma. And so he gives him a diploma. And we start to realize everybody wants to be wise, everybody wants to be intelligent. And then he goes on to the Tin Man, and the Tin Man wants a heart. Well, that's kind of hard. So he goes on, and he gets to the lion, and he says, you're probably as brave as most people, but one thing you don't have that brave people have is a medal. So he pins on a medal. And see, all of these things are symbolic. They're things that we all want to be: courageous, brave, and intelligent, and have a heart. And when he comes finally to the Tin Man, you might have seen the picture, but I don't know if you remember what was the thing. How could he give him a heart? Well, he doesn't. He says, your heart is probably as good as anybody else's. You probably got a lot of compassion for people and doing good. You have a great heart. But what you don't have is a confirmation of that. You haven't been given a salute to you. And so here is a salute. He gives him a chain to put around his neck. You're getting a tribute to you because you have a heart. And it's a heart that ticks like a watch. And that heart is out there on the Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of Oz picture from the Tin Man. So that's the little story I wanted to tell you. To fulfill what I've tried to give you, the thing is that in all of the films that we've seen and we've loved, the great ones are the story. It's in the story. It's about the people. It's about us. It's about you. And that's why we can identify with them. And so I'm not a technician. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. And many of you are. I'm not a high finance person. It's hard to explain. I'm a director, a film director. And my career has been successful because of that ability to touch that thing. If anybody in Hollywood would have said, in this year, 2012, the greatest film for the Academy Award, the one that's going to win the Academy Award for the best film, best director, best script, is going to be a black and white film and silent. You've got to be crazy. We have VistaVision, we have Todd A.O., we have... No, the film that won is called The Artist. And if you haven't seen it, certainly go and see it. So a little bit about what I'm about is what I've been trying to express here. And now I got to fill my responsibility for my wife, Nina, who asked me to do a poem, to recite a poem to you. And this is a film also. And if you ever got downstairs here, you saw the little miniature sailing ships and a turtle, big turtle up there, sea turtle. And those are some of the props from this film. And what this film is about is the journey that we all make. Most of us find faith in religion. This is somewhat directed at some people here. And they find fulfillment in Jesus Christ or in Buddha or whatever. What I came across in making a film is that there's a new kind of a thing out. It's not really new, but it's called intelligent design. And intelligent design is not a new religion or anything like that, but it's a theory that says this universe and our lives and all of our things, life around us, the miracle of life itself is something that we don't understand, but it couldn't be an accident. It's not a big bang, all the planets rolling around in the universe and banging into each other and cooling down and burning up. There's got to be something behind it. Look at all the little miracles. Our eye. I can look at those candles and I can look at him with his cup of tea. Just from my eye, I can focus. And we can think. We can create an internet. We have, Thomas Edison gave us electric light bulbs. And so there's got to be some kind of a plan that makes all this possible. And this is what the film's about. And I'm going to just try to recite a piece of the script, and it's in a work in progress. So it is about that journey of man. And it starts with this. Out of the mist of time, out of the ooze and slime, out of that dreadful dawning of that mystic morning of the earth I came, and I will not go back. Now the earth was void and without form, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And then something happened. There on some azoic shore, something moved. It squirmed. It curled. It turned. It evolved. It grew. Until after the unthinkable deliberation of the ages, it crept out of the sea. And monsters made monstrous war in the rank swamp, fang to brawny armor, brute unto brute. Then descended the vanquished. The dinosaurs went back to the waiting ooze. But I will not go back. Now I was a bent and hairy thing, more hunted than hunting, skulking from the saber-toothed tiger what I could from his kill. But I will not go back. Over the earth I roamed, brandishing my spear, but also my shepherd's crook. I built, I sailed, and my brethren made fangs at me, for they knew I was neither kin nor comrade to them now or evermore. I hid in naked earth, and I fell upon my knees, for in my mind there burned the idea of a plan, and the one who had planned. And his words came down, and his laws were 10, and Moses came down from the mountain, so it is written. And another set his voice against the wilderness, the violence. The pilot of the Galilean Sea, they called him, the Nazarene. He said, we must love one another, and by this all men will know you as my brother, if you will just but love one another. But then why is there war, and why hatred and anger? Why does blood rush to the sea and the broken bodies of the children. Behold, ye men, a great destruction in the land and in the souls of men. But I'm not in vain. Out of the wilderness I came, beast into man. My flint and my bronze lay scattered from pole to pole, but I am no ape thing now. I am Dante and Newton, Galileo, Einstein. I rhyme and I reason, and I will yet fling my frigates to the stars. But I know in my own self, I must anecdote myself until I have cured myself. For if I fail, I and all my wanderings will vanish into dust, and my ghost walk a shame among the ghosts of dinosaurs, a failed and forgotten moment in the plan. But I've come this far. I've set my instruments upon a star. Out of the mist of time, out of that ooze and slime, out of that dreadful dawning of that mystic morning of the earth, I came, and I will not go back. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry I didn't get to talk to everybody. I should have, but thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Mario. We are delighted to be here, and we could not think of a better person to celebrate with, and we're going to be here for the 90th and the 100th, the centennial. Happy birthday.